Hey, everybody. Welcome to Marketing Monday. It is another awesome Monday. I'm having a hard time believing that we are already in May. I don't know about you all. This is really crazy. So I am really excited today because it is May and we have an awesome event coming up this month. There's actually multiple events coming up, but the one I'm personally most excited about is TEDxMiami. And I am super excited to welcome our guests today. They're going to tell us all about this event, give us some hints at some of the speakers and the topics, right? Yep. So with that, I have Ari Traverso. Did I say that correctly? Yeah. Okay, sorry. So she is the marketing director of TEDxMiami, and Vanitha Preston, she is the director of community outreach. So with that, I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about this year's event. So welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vanitha Preston. As it was mentioned, I'm the director of community outreach. So basically, my job is to reach out to the community, figure out what's the pulse of the Miami community, and see what ideas we can, as a TEDx organization, bring to the forefront so that our community and our local, ideas, events, etc., are bubbled up and brought up to the stage. And I'm also kind of helping out with the speakers and a little bit of everything as we are a small team, but super happy to be here, and thank you for having us here.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And Ari, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, for sure. So Misty said I'm Ari, and I do all the marketing. So from social media to email newsletters, but also the strategy behind how to have more visibility and how to get you guys to see our amazing event that's coming up. And something I really love about the TEDx team is that we, like you said, all help each other. Mm-hmm. So it's really, marketing is kind of all about collaboration.
Yes.
And yes. I think we're going to talk quite a bit about that today.
Yes, we are. Definitely, we're going to get into that. I feel like collaboration is more and more important as things are happening and generating. So before we get into the marketing details and the communication details, can you tell us a little bit about this awesome event? Because I've seen some of this stuff out there. I'm not sure what we can even announce yet. And I am counting down the days. I'm so excited. Tell us a little bit about what we have coming up.
So I just want to give everybody a little bit of info on who we are, who TEDx is. So we are a local, independently organized nonprofit. We follow the TED format, and we aim to bring the TED experience to our local Miami community. And so we focus on topics that will be relevant to our community and that impacts us whether in a local way or in a global way. So that's our 2-minute intro. And this year, our theme is Bold New World. And, we've all had a pretty challenging past 2 years, and we're coming out of it. And it almost is transformative in so many ways. So our theme this year is to look at our world from the eyes of betterment, innovation, and almost re-looking at things that we would have not considered before with different eyes, looking at the bold new world of these amazing topics that we're bringing to the forefront.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm super excited. So I looked at the list. Like I said, I got a little bit of a sneak peek. And there were some topics on there, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. You don't always hear these topics that are going to be presented. Yeah. They're not always talked about, but they're just super important. So I'm like I said, I'm personally super excited for this year's event.
We are too.
Yeah, I bet you are. And you've been working on it for a while, I'm sure, on putting everything together. So tell us a little bit about the format this year and what people can expect.
So we have about 9 speakers, and it really is, I think, a glimpse into how innovation is permeating so many of our vital industries: education, technology, conservation, environment, exploration, our food industry, and how one person is making a huge impact, right? And again, not to give too much away, because we kind of play it hush-hush. That makes you guys want to come to the show even more. But for example, one of our speakers, she is revolutionizing the way teachers connect with their students. And the way that she's doing it is so heart-centered and so special. Like her talk, I was like in tears.
Yes.
In a good way, you know, because it was so inspirational. And that's the concept of TEDx. And I'm sure if you guys haven't had a chance or have had a chance to look at TED as a global company,
right?
The people that we bring together are spectacular. So we've tried to do that in the way that we've chosen our speakers, that we've chosen and molded their talks, so that it brings a little bit of like inspiration, innovation, and their stories behind it all.
And it takes quite a preparation. So I've looked at the application before, never actually filled it out and sent it in. Maybe next year, we'll see. But I don't know that everybody necessarily understands how much preparation goes into this, right?
Yeah, it's pretty arduous. And so we're in a very unique situation where there are these amazing credentialed people who are applying to speak on the TED stage. And we as organizers are helping them carve out and craft out their best story to tell, because what we our mission, like we share the same mission as the overall TED organization, which is ideas worth spreading.
Yeah.
So how do we put someone up there who's done this amazing work and then have them tell their story in a way where someone who has like no idea about it the next day is going to be like, hey, guess what? I heard this amazing talk.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know about like this education, or did you know something about the environment that you had never known? That's what we aim to bring. And it actually takes us 6 months to get there. So there is a lot of prepping, coaching, that goes on. So it's
so it's not like people just step on stage and have,
no.
It's a process. There's rehearsal, there's review, right?
Yes.
Like there's I'm just to me it's always seemed like daunting. So I have like so much respect for the process because I mean, it's and I feel like you have to really bare your soul, right? To really have a TED Talk. The ones that we see that go really viral are the ones that people are like, you can look at them and hear them and you feel what they're feeling, right? So I'm super excited for this. So are there other topics that you can share? So I have a couple here. I don't know if I'm allowed to say them, but I was given this as part of my talking point.
We can talk topics.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we can talk topics. All right, so one of them, let's see, a couple that she gave me were fertilization programs that revive marine life.
I was going to say that's such a good one.
That's a good one.
That's such a good one.
Yeah.
So first of all, that talk, like I was peeing in my pants because it was really fun. I know.
Topic. Okay, great.
It is. So one of the things that we try to do is to personalize the story, right? Maybe you're not interested in fertilization programs of ocean life, or maybe you are. But if you hear someone do this and they inject this amazing personal story of like how they got started, that's where I feel like it humanizes like all these things that we are bringing to the forefront. So we have the speaker who is amazing, and like he's funny, and his start into this conservation track is like actually quite funny, and even though the subject is so serious and has such consequences, but that's what we are trying to do here, is bring in these topics that perhaps sound a little heavy, but we have speakers who are humanizing it, and they're telling their stories and the ways in which they have made change, which almost seems impossible, but like if you hear their story, perhaps it'll spark ideas and innovation in our speakers. So.
Yeah, and perhaps even collaboration, because the a lot of these speakers are creating these movements a lot by their own pockets.
Yes.
So for me, the vision is, how do we as a local community expand on a global impact? So I mean, and look, we are surrounded by water, right? So wouldn't we want our oceans to be full of fish? I mean, my husband's a fisherman, so he'd be thrilled.
I know, but I love that we're bringing these topics to the forefront, because especially there's so many eyes on Miami, and what's going on with here in real estate and tech and this and that. But we're so far beyond that as a city, right? And we have so many different things going on. And I think these are super, I'm just so excited, like I said. So another topic that I have here is how psychedelics could act as a curative to extreme suffering and pain. Now, this is a hot topic.
Yes.
This is starting to come out more and more as a true treatment plan. So tell us a little bit about, can you tell us anything about that talk? Give us a little bit of a hint on that one.
So the gentleman, his name's Andres, he is a researcher. And so he researches states of consciousness. Like, what a cool.
That is super cool.
I study the mathematics of consciousness. And we were like, whoa.
Yeah. And
mathematics. So that's super scientific.
Super scientific. But like, is consciousness scientific? It's also spiritual and transcendent.
Yes.
But the way that he applies his research is to minimize physical pain, which we know opioid addiction is real and awful.
A huge problem. Again, something we don't talk about enough that's happening locally.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so trying to mitigate these maybe so, I'm going to say, like, conventional approaches to dealing with, oh, my back hurts. Oh, I have cluster headaches, which are awful. It's like, well, here's other options that nobody's telling you about.
Right.
And so the way that he approaches the psychedelics and the way that he uses them makes them almost medical. Right.
Yeah. Right. And this is what we're seeing happening. Right.
Like, it's the focus. It's bringing in the focus and the investment that's needed to actually study the effects in groups of people that's medically relevant, could be peer reviewed, can be validated. So really, he's bringing focus to small groups of people who have gone through experimentation, have seen so much improvement in their lives, and it's really like very eye-opening because can we for a moment not like relegate the entire group of psychedelics as like something prohibited substances,
like drugs.
Can we like not like
like Woodstock? That's not what we're talking about.
Exactly.
No.
Like I feel that once you hear his talk, wherever whichever side you're sitting on, there's going to be something about extreme pain and suffering that you're going to learn that might be new to you. Empathize with there are like millions of people who are going through this, and understanding how conventional medication has not necessarily delivered everything that can, and there are options that are worth exploring, right? So I feel like that itself is like, especially for people who suffer from extreme pain, it might be like a great way to like kind of open their minds and listen to this talk.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. This is so exciting, right? So we're going to continue going into this conversation, but I wanted to know, producer, my new friend, if we can put the Instagram and the website on the ticker and just kind of have that going so that if anyone wants to check out more information about who, like speakers that are coming up, because I think those are going to slowly be leaked, if I understand, leading up to the event, which is on May 19th. I don't even know if we've mentioned that yet.
No, it's coming up, and tickets are selling fairly quickly. So I would definitely jump on that. So you can go to the website, TEDxMiami.com, or on our Instagram account, just straight link in bio will take you to the Eventbrite. And we're a nonprofit. So this is a great way not only for you to contribute to TEDx as an entity, but also so that we can continue to create these beautiful events and have them year after year. And the venue.
Oh my God, the venue.
Like we're
let's talk about the venue.
Yeah, like I had to bring that up because today I was talking to my assistant and I was like, he's like, should we talk about the venue? I was like, yes. So we're at the New World Center.
Right.
It's a phenomenal, like state of the art. Yeah, in Miami Beach, right off Lincoln Road and 17th Street. It's a state of the art auditorium. So you're not just gonna go to like, the local theater. We really invested a lot of money to get you. We haven't done this TEDx since 2013.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
wanted to come
This
in with
is
a bang.
Yeah, this is a big comeback.
It's a
yes.
big comeback, and we
Wow.
wanted to steadily keep growing. And, you know, for the speakers, this is such a great opportunity to be in such a professional space with, you know, best lighting, best audio. Everything will also be live streamed.
Correct.
So we'll be able to, you'll be able to, if you can't come to the location, you'll be able to watch it at your homes.
So you can purchase a virtual ticket as
you
well.
can
You're
purchase
saying,
a virtual
I didn't realize
ticket.
that was an option. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't released that yet because we really want you to come in person.
I'll be there in person.
Yes. But yeah, we'll be having different options. And then eventually, right, all the speakers go on YouTube and we spread their ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's amazing about being a TEDx speaker, right? Your talks kind of live forever.
Yeah.
It is, becomes a part of your legacy. It has such great credibility, and the brand is fantastic. So we are excited to work with our speakers. I think the speakers are super excited to work with us, even though we have like a journey. It's in the end, the outcome is worth it for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're always so beautiful how they're put together. Like I said, I always admire people that do that because it's just like,
and
so
we have
awesome.
such a great, like we have people from all walks of life.
Correct.
You know, it's like we really made this talk very inclusive, like men, women, from all different races, all different backgrounds. And that's what I think is going to make this even richer experience for people. And like I said, like Dr. Simone, she's local, but we have the ocean guy or
Ken.
Yehuda,
Yes.
Ken or
Yeah.
Yehuda coming from Israel and Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, you guys need to come.
Wow. Okay. So on that note, can you tease a couple more topics for us? I know there's what you said, 9 or 10.
There's 9. Yeah.
There's 9. So can you tease maybe a couple more? I know if you go to their website or you go to their Instagram, you're gonna get more information on that.
I can talk about the tech one because
I was gonna say that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So obviously the last month, anybody who's been around downtown Wynwood has like seen the craziness around all the tech events that are happening. And there's been so much conversation around bringing in tech talent or, investing in the current like tech talent. And then obviously we have institutions, organizations, government agencies, all investing in this area. And fundamentally, the question is, well, all this data that, is adjacent to tech and that is created by tech, like does it control you, or should you be controlling your own data? And so that's one of our
that's a super hot topic.
Yes. So we're super excited for our speaker who's going to talk about making data work for you and not the other way around, because that's what's been happening for so long.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in space, and I think everybody should be, because, whether you like it or not, your data is being collected one way or another. So our speaker is going to talk about, ways in which you can kind of look to turn that equation around. And what are some of the things that are happening in that space to make it a reality? So
that's really interesting. I'm trying to keep up with all that, and I'm having a hard time. But it's a really interesting topic, and I'm all for data privacy, even though I'm in marketing and digital marketing,
I know.
and it creates, for lack of a better word, headaches, because now you're like, oh, how do I reach people? But having said that, I am all for privacy and figuring out other ways to connect with people, right, without being invasive, because I don't think that that's where we want to do either, right? So anyways, so that's okay. So that's really awesome. All right, so we talked about how people can buy tickets. We talked about when it is, where it is. We've gone over some of the speaking topics. So talk to us about how you are regenerating excitement for this event, your marketing strategies, and some of the things that you all are doing.
Well,
sounds like it's quite a task.
So I'm fairly new to the team, and I've only been here for 3 months ish. And I was,
just throw you right in.
They just threw me right in, and I was like, how does everything work? No, but
awesome.
We had to start an Instagram account from scratch. Like every hurdle that possibly could exist,
right?
I was given, but you know what? It was perfect because we were able to craft the the vibe and the exact message that we want to provide.
Uh-huh.
So we not only do the digital marketing, typical, like we're running ads, but we have a really strong PR arm to TEDxMiami with Jessica. And
oh yeah, she's fantastic. Shout out to Jessica, by the way. She's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
JWIPR, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome.
And really marketing is about involving the community in this sense. And that's what we've wanted to do. So we have a lot of personal outreach that's happening, getting other people to share. So that's, for us, that is the best type of marketing. So if you go to our Instagram account today, or you go to the Twitter and you see a post that you like, because I've been doing like little lives with some of the speakers during our rehearsal days.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so you can really get the heart and soul of the speakers. So if you feel like sharing that because it just calls out to you, please do so. Like I said, this is a local TEDx and we're nonprofit. So our resources are slightly limited, but together we can exponentially, reach more people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's super exciting. All right. So a lot of digital, a lot of outreach. And since I have a question that's kind of nosy, but since you have like a strategy of sort of dripping out the speakers, are the speakers posting about the event as well, or will they be soon, I'm guessing?
I would like them to.
They're starting
they are.
They're in some platforms. They're
starting already to
and some of these people are data researchers.
Yeah.
They're not social media influencers.
Right.
So it really does lay a lot of the responsibility on us to spread them.
Right.
And I think that's one of the benefits to being a TEDx speaker, is that you rely on a marketing team, a professional marketing team to get you out there to the world, and for people to know. Like one of our speakers, Dr. Josh, he's a cardiologist.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, does he have an Instagram? No.
Right.
We've had that, right? Like we've had one speaker with no socials, not even LinkedIn. So like, well, why would I need that? Or like that's not, and that's totally okay. Like we, that we love the diversity.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so we are trying. Our man is trying. We're all kind of pitching in our own ways.
Together.
Yeah. But it's actually really fun because it, apart from the the responsibility, it gives me ways to highlight people that maybe wouldn't be seen out in the world. And I'm a coach as well, so like the visibility of things is almost like stripping away a little bit of any fear, like insecurities to be seen.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm like, if you guys want to be seen, like I'm gonna put you out there. So.
Yeah.
No, and it's so funny because they're all so humble. Like a lot of our speakers are so humble. And they'll just, tell their names. And I was like, well, you should say you're a doctor because you have a PhD.
Yeah.
You are an MD. Like, don't be shy about what you achieve, right? So, no, you're right. Like, it's working with the speakers, coaching them through this, helping kind of, propel their ideas across. Hats off to like everybody on the team.
Absolutely.
And we have like an amazing team of organizers. So I'm just so happy that we're all a part of this together, and we're all helping each other.
All women.
So, yeah, it'll be great. Yes, all women team.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes, and so any help from our local community will be super welcome.
Support us. No, but I think this is really awesome, and I'm excited because I think that as things are roaring back, which to me it feels that like it's roaring back, right? So in terms of like our schedules and events, and it's like I feel like every musician on the planet and every comedian on the planet is back on tour, right? Like every other day I'm getting tickets on sale for so and so. I'm like, how are there any dates left for anybody to do anything because everything is crazy? But I'm excited for that because I think this will be like good momentum moving forward, especially as more eyes are turning to Miami, and I'm seeing other TEDx events in other cities, and it's just always really exciting to see like what people are doing. And personally, I just love stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's just so inspirational. And I love learning like biographies, right? Like I'm kind of nerdy about that personally.
I hear you. And I think apart from the stories, it's the data behind a lot of these stories. Like the actual information to me is also super cool. Like when I go to these rehearsals, I'm like, tell me more about that.
Yeah.
What? Like you're using fish semen?
To do what?
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you have to find out.
I know.
Yeah. Well, now
that
I'm
I dropped that
anyway,
word.
But if you want to know what that's about, you're going to have to buy a ticket in person or virtual. All right. Awesome. So we have about 5 minutes left of the show. So what else would you like people to know about this year's event? And then I have another question before we wrap up.
I think it's the energy behind the event and the careful selection of the speakers to really give you this theme of bold new world. Like we're really passionate about it. You know, what is making 2022 a year that has so much impact, so much energy, so much potential behind it, and how us as humanity, and I mean, I'm just going to generalize that, you know, we're moving closer and closer to being more connected with the planet, to being more aware of our actions, to being more in touch. Because as technology zooms right in, there's an opportunity to lose connection.
Yes.
And to get disconnected from the natural world. I mean, talk about like the Web3 and being like inside a virtual world. Like, what about our real world?
Yeah. Right.
So this is, I think, a really happy marriage of the speakers that were chosen and how they're dropping seeds for this specifically.
Right. Right. Yeah, I love that because you're right. Like, there's so much topic and focus on metaverse and tech and kind of, and it does feel like everything is zooming by, but it also feels like there's tremendous opportunity. And so I love this spirit of collaboration that you all are bringing here locally on such a beautiful stage. So another question that I had that people might be curious of, and maybe you don't know the answer to this yet, but assuming there's a TEDx event next year, about what time is the application process? If someone was interested in being one of these phenomenal speakers and going through this experience, how does that work?
Yeah, so actually our speaker applications are open on TEDxMiami.com. Right now, obviously, for the May 19th event, it's closed.
Right.
But once we finish the event, it'll be open back up again. Believe it or not, we actually look at every single application that comes through our website. In fact, myself and the speaker director went through 435 applications.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we put in like all this effort to pick the right people. And this is really like, whether, you know, it doesn't matter how famous or not famous you are. If you want to like tell us about yourself and if you want to speak, that's the best way to reach us. And we look at every single application.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming people are going to go to this event. They're going to get inspired. They're going to want to be a speaker. And so or maybe they will.
Instagramming Ari being like, hey, do you need a speaker for next week's event is not the way to do it.
No, I know it's a very specific process. Yes. That's why we mentioned earlier, there is quite a significant amount of preparation that goes into it. Yeah. So it's not a last minute thing, right? It's
Vanita, the other day we were speaking because like I've always been like, oh, I want to be on TEDx. And you gave me like the 5 tenets.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting for people to hear that.
So it was not, I made those up. By the way. I don't think this
her 5 tenets.
My 5 tenets.
Well, I mean, since you're one of the application reviewers.
But it was really cool because it gave me a lot of clarity. Like if I were to apply, what are some of the best best routes to get the attention of?
Yeah. Well, so I would say that there is a lot of people who are doing amazing work. And if you feel like your work is, you know, creating a local impact or a global impact, then we would love to hear about that. But there are different types of TED talks, right? There is the science talk. There is this powerful, almost like experience talk. There is talks about specific innovation that has happened. So there are different types of TED Talks, and each of those follow a specific format. What I would probably tell everybody is that when we are looking at any application, we're saying, hey, what is this person, what's the idea that they're bringing to the table? Is it new? Has it never been done before? If that's the case, then that's great. How can you kind of validate that? What are your credentials behind that? Right. And if you have credentials and you have this amazing idea, have you done something with it? Right. Have you impacted people around you or have helped your cause in one way or another? So that's something that we look out for. The other thing that we look out for is that sometimes people have amazing experiences, sometimes traumatic also, right?
Yeah.
And all of us go through a learning journey. We learn something amazing from it, right? And then what? Right. So if you had a traumatic experience or a significant experience and you learned something about it, did you take that in some way and codify it, or did you? So we're looking for those kind of ideas where that has not been done before or has been new and innovative, or it's just revolutionary. And we look at those talks with that lens a lot. So I don't know if that helps, but
no, for sure.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, I'm being told we have to wrap it up. There's giant letters flashing in my face right now. I could keep talking about this. I'm sure we could all keep talking about this. But either way, go to TEDx.Miami on Instagram or TEDxMiami.com if you want to get more information on this event. Like I said, I will be there. I am looking forward to it. And I want to thank you both so much for your time today.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. So, all right. So we'll be back with another Marketing Monday next week. Until then, have an awesome week. Be safe, be blessed, all the good things.